Bismillah. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone. Welcome back to Weekday Tech Talk, our weekly series where we explore fun and exciting topics in technology. How are you today, guys? How are you today, guys? I hope you're all doing great today. My name is Afifa Kwisha Shakira, or you can just call me Asya for short, and I'll be your host for today Weekday Tech Talk session. So for today Tech Talk, we'll be diving into something interactive and perfect for beginners. It's making mini quiz magic with HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. So we're going to learn how simple web technologies can be used to create a fun little quiz app. So whether you're new to coding or already familiar with the front end development, today's session will definitely be useful. And now I am really excited to introduce our speaker for this week. She is a creative, passionate, and talented student from 10RPL, our friends, everyone, who has been actively exploring web development. Please welcome Mariska Tasha Alzena.
Okay. Hello
Hi,
everyone.
hi Tasha.
Hi Asya.
How are you today?
I'm good, Alhamdulillah.
Okay, can you introduce yourself?
Hello everyone. My name is Thasya and I'm from class 10 RPL. Today I'm going to show you how to make a simple mini quiz using HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. And this project is really beginner friendly and it's perfect to learn how the website can interact with users. So without wasting any time, let's just get started. Okay. No. All right. Can you guys see my screen? Okay, so for the first thing that we need to do, we can open our Finder and make new folder. And we name it as quiz app or whatever you want. And after that, we open it in Visual Studio Code. Okay, here we can make new file. First, we need index.html. And the second file, we need the CSS. And the last one, we need the JavaScript file. Okay, so first we will code in index.html first. For the first step, you guys can press shift on your keyboard and exclamation mark together and press enter. So we can change the title here as become mini quiz, and we can connect it the CSS to the HTML file using link, and we choose the CSS one. And here you guys can write your CSS file. And next we start for the body code where we can see our where we can see our result. And first we need to make div first, and we give class quiz container. And after that we add the heading and we name it and we give mini heading mini quiz. We give header mini quiz. And below the heading, we add paragraph, tag P or paragraph, and we give the text. Tag P is as the question. It's already made. Is it?
Yes.
Alright. Next, question, and below tag B, we make new div and give class option. And inside the div, we make the option for the answer. We can use button and we write the answer. And don't forget, give the class option. So for the div class using S. For the JavaScript. And after that, we can style for the quiz. We make the root first for the variable color. Here, for the first variable, we name it primary. And for the color, actually it's up to you guys. Here, I use blue for the primary color. And for the second variable, we name it as secondary. I use green for the secondary color. And next, for the third variable, secondary. And I use yellow for the third color. And the last one is variable white. Right. Then after that, we will continue to give the stuff for the body. We can type body and some family. Here we use poppins. And sunset. After that, for the background color, we use white. Because we already have variable before, so we can just type the variable here white. And after that, for the display, we use flex. And we set for the justify content center, align item center, and we set thing for the height is 100 ph and margin 0. Right after body, we give style for the quiz container, so you guys can call the class here. Can you just copy this? And we add that before we enter the class. And for the background color of the quiz container, we use the primary color. And then we add border for the quiz container, and we give the border is 8px solid. And for the color, we use secondary. And after that, we add border radius is 60px, padding 40px, and for the text align is center, and we give width for the quiz container And last one, we give full shadow. And after that, we start for heading. For the heading, we can decide how1, h1, and give margin bottom 20 px. And after that, we start looking for the option. We set the background color. We use variable tertiary. And for the color means for the text. For the color text, we use white, border, none, and border radius 8px. Padding, we add padding for the top and bottom is 10px, and for the right side and left side, 0. And for the font size, we use 16px, and for the cursor, we just pointer, and because we want to make hover, so we will add transition first. Background. .3 seconds. And after that, we make the hover. We can type option, colon, and hover. We will make hover. So if we hover it, the color will change. And then for the last one, we start for the result. We add margin top for 20px and full weight 600. Right. For the style for the CSS is done. And next we move to the JavaScript. So we can open the JavaScript folder. And then here we create a variable named option. With document query selector all, because we want to select many elements at the same time, not just one. And we write, and inside the bracket, we write option. Okay, we write option with a dot because we are selecting HTML elements that have by the class, not ID. And so this line basically means please find all elements in the document that have the class option and put them into this, and this will give us a list of the buttons in the quiz. Right. Don't forget to add semicolon. And next, we create another variable called result. Because we only need one element, so we use document query selector. We wrote all because we only need one element, and in the bracket we type result and store it here. Later we will change the text inside this text
P to show the answer, whether it's correct or not. And now, we look through every button inside option. Think of option like a list of buttons, and then we use for each. Okay, for each means go through them one by one. So we do this because we want each button to have its own click action. And then after that, we inside the loop we add even listener. We add the even listener to each button, and an even listener is basically when this button is clicked to something. So we use click. Okay, so we use. Okay, now we check which button user click. So we add if, and then we type text. Sorry, the type button text content, and we use this operator. And we write the correct answer. For example, and after that, here, so we compare it with JavaScript because that is the correct answer. And here we use the operator strict equally. Each checks is the value the same and is the data type the same. So if the text inside the button is actually exactly JavaScript, so the answer is correct. So if the answer is correct, we change the text color into inside the result paragraph. So here we call result and text content, and we give text like, and with that we add style for the color. So now color. And because usually if correct answer is in green, so we use green. Right. So result text content means replace the text inside the result area, and then we set it to success message. Then we change the color to green, so the user can visually see that is the correct answer. And if the answer is wrong, we make else and change the text content from and for the color we use red. If the button that the user clicked is not the correct one, then we go into the else part. So
Here we show a message that the answer is wrong, and we change the color to red to make it clear that it's not the correct answer. Right. Yeah, so we can run the code. Open with last effort, and here's the result. So we can see the question, and we can choose the correct answer. So if we choose the wrong answer, there will be message coba lagi. Right. Maybe just that's all from me, and we can back to the host.
Okay, thank you, Tasha, for the great explanation. Now we will move to the Q&A session. So for those who have a question, you feel free to raise your hand or send your question through the chat. So let's start with the first one. I have one question for you. Wait a minute. Uh, so from making HTML, CSS with and JavaScript project, which part is the most challenging for you, and how do you solve it?
Okay, for me, the hardest part is for the JavaScript code because JavaScript is for the logic, and I just learned about JavaScript, and I'm still research about JavaScript, how to do this logic, how to make this button like this or the other action, the other logic. So yeah, sometimes I'm still confused about with JavaScript, and usually I ask my friends or not. I ask the GPT how to solve it and how to make like this.
Okay, thank you for answering my question. Let's see. Let's wait for the other questions. Okay, there is one question from Duayen. So, Tasha, what was your first project at RPL?
Okay, so my first project in RPL was a portfolio website, and I made the website as my first SKL, and it wasn't perfect actually, but it helped me understand how web page work, and that project is what made me enjoy coding and want to learn more.
Just that?
Just that.
Okay, thank you. And then maybe another question.
Yung kuno na lahat.
Okay, for Queen Shafa, maybe you can ask something to Tasha. Queen Shafa Rania Bilkis, are you there? Okay, there's another question, I guess, from Pertalite Biru. Is this Queen Shafa? Yeah, she said, wow, since JavaScript is really wide, what is the most challenging thing in JavaScript? And what is your favorite part of using JavaScript?
For me, the most challenging part in JavaScript is understand how logic works, like maybe loops and condition and how the browser read code step by step. And sometimes one small mistake can break everything, so you really have to think carefully. And my favorite, this that, and
Your
my
favorite part?
and my favorite part of JavaScript is making website interactive. So I love when I write small piece of code, and suddenly the page reacts, like clicking a button, changing colors, or showing a result, and it feels fun. And it feels fun, and it makes the website feel alive and more interactive.
Okay. Then there's the last question from Pearsley5091. What part of handling this CSS was the hardest?
Um, wait, okay. The hardest part of CSS is for me is making everything look neat and is make everything responsive. Sometimes the layout looks different on different screens, so I have to adjust the spacing, size, or the flex box.
Mm.
But after practicing, it becomes easier, maybe.
Oh, okay, okay. Thank you for answering their questions. Maybe that's all for today weekday tech talk. A very huge thank you to our speaker Mariska Tasha Alzena for sharing her insights today, and of course, thank you to all participants for joining us in this weekly learning space. And we hope you enjoyed the session and learned something new. Don't forget to join us again next week for another edition of Weekday Tech Talk. Maybe that's all. Have a wonderful day, everyone. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. See you next week.